Super Earth is our home, which is why we need people to protect it. It's why we have Helldivers. Their heroism and patriotism are what create a more peaceful future for us and the galaxy. And it's important we shed light on the divers who protect us.
I'm doing my part. But I didn't do shit. I just got hired on here and like...
Ellos me dieron trabajo y una green card, pero yo no sé qué estoy haciendo de aquí todavía, güey. Yo no sé todavía, güey.
I'm doing...
That's right, recruits. We're talking about Helldivers 2, a absolutely fantastic game, and one of my favorite games this year so far. Hell, I would say it's pretty much just the best game of the year. Just saying it now, this will probably be in the top. My experience with this game has been amazing. I can't praise it enough. They really made a game that was, well, a Starship Troopers type game. And it's an amazing co-op experience that I recommend you, yes you, the viewer, play. While I had many issues with server problems and, well, that's pretty much it, this game is still a fantastic experience. Whether it be the gameplay, design, music, we're going to be talking about it all today. Let's talk about it. This is everything about Helldivers 2 Robot Vietnam. Helldivers is a series that has been around since March 2015, and it was released for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PS Vita with crossplay. And also, it was released on Steam on December 7th, 2015, making it the first game Sony published to Windows. Helldivers 1 has both couch and online co-op for up to 4 players. The game takes inspiration from military science fiction such as Aliens and Starship Troopers. Helldivers received positive reviews from critics, and, well, its sequel, we're going to be talking about that in a minute here. But the gameplay of Helldivers 1 is similar to the second game. The player needs to coordinate their actions during chaotic combat in order to complete objectives and avoid friendly fire casualties. The game pits the player against 3 different enemy species and tasks them with ensuring survival of Super Earth, the most capitalistic and democratic, liberty, freedom-based planet of all time. Gameplay takes place on procedurally generated missions where players must accomplish a series of objectives. At the start of each mission, the player can choose their loadouts and deployment positions, as well as using the game's unique stratagem mechanics to best suit the map or the player's preferred playstyle. For example, the player may choose stratagems that focus on providing additional firepower or mobility, or give themselves supportive abilities like calling in airstrike in parts of the map. The game has a single difficulty option, though the player can choose hard or easy planet for their missions. This changed over the course of development. So more about Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is developed by Arrowhead Game Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It was composed by Wilbur Rogo II and uses the Autodesk Stingray engine. It was released on February 8th, 2024 for PlayStation 5 and PC. It received amazing reviews and sold approximately 1 million units in the first 3 days since release. Unlike Helldivers 1 though, which is a top-down shooter, Helldivers 2 is a third-person shooter. Similar to the first game, players are able to select stratagems, which are airdrops that the player can call, which include cluster bombs, sentry guns, shield generators, or supply pods containing limited use special weaponry. Friendly fire is always on, and the game's armor system is inspired by real firearms fired against armored targets. There is multiplayer with up to 4 players, and it provides a cross-play feature between PlayStation 5 and Windows players. Big ups for that, that's amazing. More on the development and release though. On December 3rd, 2020, Arrowhead Game Studios revealed that they were working on a new project expected to be on PlayStation 5. It was confirmed that they would be a third-person shooter. This was rumored to be Helldivers 2, and people were right, because on September 13th, 2021, Helldivers 2 was mentioned in a GeForce Now leak. The game was teased in a TikTok post showing Arrowhead's social media manager starting their workday, which is followed by a series of posts from fans demanding them to release the game. On August 18th, 2022, a 12-second clip of gameplay was leaked on Twitter, but it was later removed. On May 24th, 2023, Helldivers 2 was announced during the PlayStation 2023 showcase, with a slated release of sometime in 2023. This was delayed till 2024, but on July 6, 2023, a trailer showing gameplay was released, and on July 30th, 2023, the game received an M rating by the ESRB for blood and gore and intense violence. On September 14th, 2023, gameplay was shown in a PlayStation State of Play event. During the event, the game got an official release date set for February 8th, 2024, and pre-orders became available that September in 2023, specifically on September 22nd. So, Now that we talked about the development history of the game, let's talk more about the content and loadouts and the gameplay. Let's just start off with the gameplay. The gameplay of Helldivers 2 is pretty self-explanatory. It's a third-person shooter that takes place through multiple planets and galaxies where you, the world's strongest Helldiver, in a patriotic masterclass of a human, have to liberate planets from two factions, the automatons and the Terminids. The Terminids are a bug-like race that inhabit the right side of the map. They typically have a large nest-like structures with bug holes that spawn enemies. While they are lethal, they do not have any ranged attacks and rely on bigger, tougher foes with armor that can't be easily penetrated. Not even the power of raid bug spray or bug be gone can kill these dudes. It's insane. The automatons are generally the hardest out of the two factions and rely on intense ranged attacks like lasers and missiles that can fuck you up. The trees are speaking binary, and Super Earth has fallen. Billions must dive. So now that we've discussed the factions, let's get into what you do in this beautiful, beautiful game. Helldivers 2 starts you off on a planet where you have multiple objectives in an operation. Each operation has a certain amount of missions where you, the player, must complete them to obtain medals to use on the progression side of the gameplay. There are over 9 objectives with varying specifics. For instance, eradication missions can vary from killing swarms or killing a bile titan. The most basic one you'll see, however, can vary between planets. Some notable ones include launching an ICBM into Southside Chicago and clearing out eggs from those nasty, nasty bugs. Each faction has their own unique missions, making each playthrough of the game unique on top of the maps that are randomly generated. No playthrough of this game is the same, which is amazing when it comes to replayability. On top of that, you have 8 difficulties in the game, ranging from easy all the way to Helldive difficulty, and each difficulty having small factors depending on what one you play is amazing. And there's also a roguelike system of different debuffs, such as increased stratagem call-in time or intense heat, which can cause fog and reduce stamina. But in order to do these missions, you must kill in order to do your part for the Battle of Super Earth. This is where the weapons come in. And pacifists, I'm sorry, but there are over 29 weapons in this game. The weapon variety in this game is insane. You have enough stratagems to level the entirety of California, and the basic sets of weapons ranging from assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, and marksman rifles, all the way to anti-tank weapons and arc throwers. All of these weapons have a reason to be used over the other, which is something I can respect a lot in the game like this. There's no bad weapon in this game, and that fucking rocks. Last thing I wanted to bring attention to you in the gameplay section is enemy variety. The enemy variety in this game is amazing. You have your basic grunt enemies on both sides, which can call for reinforcements, which then in turn make you want to kick a puppy. And then you have bigger enemies which pack a bigger punch and can take much more damage, which some have armor and some have ranged attacks, like the Spitter on the Terminid side, or the Rocket Devastators on the Automaton side. The biggest threat though, and something that might give you PTSD, are the Titan enemies. The Titan enemies in the game are as follows. You have Bile Titans, Automaton Hulks, Automaton Tanks, and Chargers. These all pose massive threats and all have different weak spots, which make you strategize on how you're going to take out an enemy and make you coordinate with your team. Speaking of teamwork is a massive part of Helldivers 2, and you can have up to 4 players in your squad with all different stratagems and loadouts, unless you don't have any friends. More on the guns before we close off this section. The gunplay in this game feels amazing. It feels so good to mow down bugs and automatons, and the weapons feel amazing to use when it comes to customization. You can range them and change the fire rate of all your guns. All this accumulates at the end where you can call an extraction and head back to your ship. A job well done, soldier. The end allows you to see which objectives you did and the nests that you have eliminated, as well as ones you may have missed, giving you bonus XP and cash, which is used to get more stratagems. And now that everything is done for the gameplay section, let's just jump right into the next topic, and that is going to be customization and monetization. The customization and monetization in Helldivers 2 can influence the game in many ways. You have 2 armor slots, your basic armor and your helmet, which comes in 3 different classes: light, medium, and heavy armor. Each type of armor has different abilities in combat, such as increased throwing range or reduced recoil. These armors can be attained through the 2 major progression systems. The only time I liked a battle pass. I'm looking at you, Rainbow Six Siege. Fuck you. The Warbond Pass is your standard free battle pass. The basic battle pass contains different weapons and armor and boosters, which aid you in combat. This also has the main currency and the only microtransaction in the game, super
credits. Super credits, also known as patriotic V-Bucks, are the main way to buy special armors which cycle after a certain amount of time each week, and also can get you the premium Warbond Pass for 1,000 patriotic V-Bucks. But how much money does that equate to? Everything must be super expensive, right? Right? Nope. You can get everything in the shop for absolutely free by finding super credits on your missions or buying $10 worth of super credits. Why $10, you might ask? It can get you everything. I'm not even joking. $10 will literally get you everything. Hell, $3 should be enough for what you're trying to get. I guess inflation hasn't hit Super Earth yet, unlike us, so this is a breath of fresh air when it comes to a in-game monetization system. Also, side note, you can name your ship. I named mine the Lady of Wrath, after British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Anyway, back off to the next topic. The aesthetics in this game are amazing. The optimization is a key factor as well, and let me tell you, this game looks great. And overall, it runs great, even on a shitty PC like mine. I'm still getting 120 FPS on high settings, which is amazing. And plus, the planets themselves give off this gritty look, similar to, well, Starship Troopers. Overall, this game looks great UI-wise and aesthetic-wise. But let's not delay it any further. Let's get into our last topic, which is the best part of the game that isn't killing hookers on Super Earth or killing bugs with your shoe. It is music and design. Keeping it short and simple here, the music in this game is one of the most cinematic and intense soundtracks in gaming I've ever heard. Damn, it's so good. It is so good. It was composed by Wilbur Rogo II, who is most known for composing the soundtracks for Mortal Kombat 11 and Call of Duty World War II. And to close this video out is the design of Helldivers 2. The design of Helldivers 2 is amazing. Helldivers 2's design takes notes from Starship Troopers and the Terminator series for its enemies. Whether you're fighting a bug with a fat ass or a giant chainsaw-wielding robot, each enemy has an amazing design and you can really make you stop and appreciate the enemy who's trying to murder you. The character design of the Helldivers themselves is your creation, but each piece of armor is beautiful in its design, being robotic and almost feel like you're coming off an assembly line while looking different and unique at the same time. And finally, space itself. Each time you jump to a planet, you can see others in the orbit of the planet with ships exploding and other players being shot into the atmosphere of the planet, which provides a sense of realism and unity when taking a planet back.
And that's the end of your training. Thanks for sticking around. See, Helldivers is one of the best third-person shooters on the market right now. With high-intense gameplay, tons of possibilities, and the emphasis on teamwork makes this game a blast to play. We talked about gameplay, the design, everything just being so beautiful in this game. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing and liking the video, as it helps this channel grow and makes us able to give you content in the future. And I'll see you on the battlefield. Also,